very thankful to God for giving us this privilege. So celebrate 50 years with you all. Supporters from USA and England. They are strong supporters for FARMS Lanka. We thank God for 50 years of ministry of FARMS Lanka, which was started by Reverend Gareth Miller from FARMS International USA in 1973. And I joined in 1975. And this year we celebrate the 50 years of ministry of FARMS. Now it has spread to all over Sri Lanka, all the 25 districts in 9 provinces, and working with more than 300 churches to eliminate poverty, especially the physical poverty, as well as through our programs, the spiritual poverty. And we need to, and we are hoping to develop this ministry further. And we are thankful to God for giving us this opportunity through FARMS International to carry on the ministry for 50 years. And thank God for the people are producing many of in their home gardens, vegetables, some in rice fields, and also some places we see the poultry, the dairy, the goats, and some areas are with pigs. And the food production is main emphasis of farms. And also godliness with tithing to church and having the family altar with praying together, the family, and also they stay together. And FARMS has a ministry for children and also for, especially for women who are isolated or widowed. And also we have projects for young people and the normal farmers. Then for many who are like to develop their own livelihood projects, and also for elderly people that been cared by us in many places. And it is recognized by the government as well as by many organizations, because FARMS is a blessing to the country. As Jesus said to Peter, "Feed my sheep," and we are following the footsteps of him.
You started with just 4 projects in 1973, and can you talk a little bit about how you shared yesterday that over 10,000 income-generating projects have been conducted, but many other projects besides. So could you talk about going from the 4 projects to adding in the different categories of education and disaster relief management and how the scope of those different categories?
Okay. In 1973, with the funds received from FARMS International, they have commenced 4 agriculture projects and also animal husbandry. Then in 1975, when I joined FARMS Lanka, and they asked me to supervise and expand the ministry. Then I visited many churches all over Sri Lanka and selected families through churches to expand the ministry. Then one time everywhere we can see our projects are growing and families have been blessed. Then again we have received many applications from the children who want to study more. Then we started a children's ministry. Then after that, some isolated women asked us, no one to care for us. Can you do some projects for us? Then we started helping them with poultry, dairy, that they can, Then many disasters gone through FARMS Lanka and also the country. And one is the heavy rains and floods in 2003 in the beginning. And we started relief work. Then 2004 in December, the very big tsunami came and we lost 40,000 people, and most of them known to us in some places. And we start working with the church as well as with the temples, because that time we had to get assistance from others also, and also from the forces and police. The government was well recognized and they have given us awards for that kind of work. And we want to, then they asked, they don't have money to erect sirens in some places, and we have gifted 53 sirens for the government, and they are using it when there's an alert program for tsunami. Then later there are cyclones, blast victims during the Easter Sunday bomb blast in 2019, Easter Day, and we got involved. In Colombo we through the government, but in Betikolo with the pastors. Then we are still helping them because still they need some further. Children were born just that the next day, and some born after the bomb blast. The mothers were conceived earlier. Then we are helping them because government and other organizations have done, but there are some limitations, and we thought of, we also involve as in our faith that to help them. Then that's the reason. Then the Buddhist societies also ask, why you are doing only for Christians, why it is, then we start helping them in the name of Christ as a witness, because many have come to Christ from outside of the Israel community and healed them. Jesus has healed them. Like, Samaritan woman, they preach the gospel to her. That's the way we thought of, we must follow Jesus. Sometimes we have some guidelines in working, but sometimes the Holy Spirit led us to many places as Christian witness, and special needs children's programs, and also some program with dropout children and other kind of programs. And from 4 projects, it has expanded to around 10,000 around the country. It's a great blessing. And millions of worth things are producing by our project holders. What a great privilege the FARMS had. And we are thankful to FARMS International and Reverend Miller who initiated the program, and also your coming to Sri Lanka will be a blessing to us and also to FARMS International.
And you also have agriculture teaching seminars. Could you explain briefly what types of teaching seminars you do with agriculture?
Especially when someone starts a project, we want to know whether they know the subject. And in agriculture also, there are ways to plant. And you have to think about the water, think about the sunlight, and think about the varieties of seeds is suitable for the area. And also see the person's education standard, whether he can read and learn. Anyway, before any type of projects initiating in any area, we gather people for the church or to the community hall and give a lecture period, seminars on the subject of agriculture. That means how to do home gardening. Then about poultry, about the breeds, the food of the poultry, the diseases of the poultry they are getting, and also how to sell, keep, and also the importance of giving their own children eggs for protein malnutrition here. Then about controlling of diseases and other things. And we are promoting organic farming because it is not easy because totally organic. Sometimes we have to use some chemicals also, but to prevent some poisonous things going to our food. Because of that, we mostly encourage organic farming.
And could you talk as well about the process for income generating when someone requests to receive from FARMS Lanka for a project? What's the process that you've mentioned?
Yeah, normally pastors contact us for their believers. Then the believer had to write, if we can write, and pastor should recommend as a member of the church. Or it is from a common ground, the garment niladhari, the garment officer in the area should recommend, or from the garment officers. Church or common is the way. Then after receiving, our staff or myself visit the place and see whether he or she can initiate a project, because some may ask cattle, but you must have fodder or grass. If there's no grass, we don't recommend. And some may ask goats. With a little grass or something, that is enough for goats. If they ask for poultry, if it's a bigger one, then we must check whether feed is available, commercial feed is available, or he can make food for the chicken. Or otherwise, the country chicken, that is, they are going here and there collecting their own food, and there's no problem. And we interview and get all the data, and also we check whether anybody in the family disabled or cancer or very old, because we know that from the project they had to invest some money on children and anything. Sometimes the project may not having good profit to do all the things, and we see to raise the income for feed and help those areas. And finally, we send the application to the board with my recommendation to approve. The board approves and issue, sometimes with material, sometimes with cash, to purchase and to give.
Yeah, thank you for sharing about that. I think maybe just one more question would be talking about over 48 years, how your Christian faith has influenced the work that you're doing.
During these 48 years, I am very much thankful to God giving me this kind of opportunity to visit all the provinces, districts, and meet the pastors of different type of pastors on different denominations. Some are charismatic, some are normal, some are very conservative, and any church, and I am thankful. And I give my testimony also during these seminars and preaching. I am having the privilege of preaching more than 300 churches in Sri Lanka. It is very rare to find somebody who has preached, because they are limited to different denominations. They also have their own churches. But FARMS is an interdenominational, but we strongly believe in Jesus, who is our sustainer and provider. And we don't change our faith to anything. But anyhow, in our faith, there is always way to help others with love and to win them to Christ through our love.
Thank you for sharing. We really appreciate you sitting down and taking the time to share with us.